I'm just not feeling it today. I am not feeling it. And by it, I mean any dopamine. So let's get into it. I have epilepsy, but most days, let's be honest, epilepsy kind of has me. I am epileptic. I got diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 21 years old. 21, 22, who cares? And I spent the whole year that I was 21 in and out of the hospital, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. I used to have to wear a heart monitor. I was fainting places. I was peeing my pants because I was having grand mal seizures, which is when you lose consciousness and you shake and you lose all control of your bodily functions. I remember that time I was in improv class and I was wearing a heart monitor, and one time it started going off because our teacher was, in a word, horrifying. And my heart monitor starts going off because I was getting really anxious, and I was like, oh shit, and I'm like trying to find a way to turn it down. And she goes, will you just turn that off? And I go, sorry, it's a heart monitor. And she goes, well then just leave. And I was like, okay, don't threaten me with a good time. But no, I very much did leave. Anyway, fun fact, Prince and Lil Wayne have seizures. Okay, so basically what triggers seizures is just many things. There's over 40 different types of seizures that one can have, and the biggest side effect of being epileptic is just having perfect yams. Why would I do that in a sweater and a sports bra? I don't know. Yeah, there's over 40 different types of seizures you can have. Sometimes my seizures might just look like me staring off into space, or I can have grand mals. I'll be flopping on the damn ground like a damn fish. That's humbling. And who doesn't love to be humbled most of the time in public? But I remember it was really frustrating before I was diagnosed with epilepsy because they didn't know what the hell it was. So I was in and out of the hospital because I kept having these horrific fainting spells, which ended up being seizures. And I went through so many trial and errors to get diagnosed. And something that really triggers mine are being in heat, getting extremely stressed, drinking too much, doing drugs. Hey, what was I doing my entire 20s? All of those things. So that was kind of a treat for me. Okay. But I remember I was at my best friend Bryce's house and we were watching the Lego movie, a classic, and we decided to just take a kiss of marijuana. Now, was it a kiss or was it an entire edible each? You do the math on that. And I hope you came to the conclusion it was an entire edible. But so take the edible, and immediately I'm feeling something's off. And don't worry, because we were washing that down with just slurps of red wine, as you do. And so the weed is really hitting, and I feel that just something is not right. So I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. Maybe I need to throw up. I don't know. Something charming. And so I go into the bathroom and I look at myself in the mirror, and then all of a sudden my vision just goes black. And next thing I know, I'm on the floor, but I'm not in Bryce's bathroom anymore. What I'm looking at is like a carpeted Asian restaurant. And there's like waiters going around, and I can smell pad thai. Like, it's very insane. And in my head, I remember thinking, oh my God, can I time jump? What is this? Then I close my eyes again. Next thing I know, I'm back in my apartment, and I can like feel the bed sheets. I'm sitting on the bed, still in the same position. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I try and speak and I can't. Next thing I know, I black out again and I come to, and I'm in Bryce's bathroom again, and I'm on the floor and my head really, really hurts. Did I pee myself? We don't really need to get into that, but I'm like, Bryce, I think I just time traveled, or I had a seizure. It's one or the other, and it's definitely one of them. And he was just like, he's tripping balls too. So he was just like, you know what? Let's just go to sleep. And I'm like, honestly, I like that, because no one can afford to go to the hospital in this country. And so we go to sleep, and I remember I woke up because I had seized so hard. I had hit my head on the wall or something, like wherever his bed was, I had hit my head on the wall from shaking. And then I think Bryce started spooning me to like make me stop shaking. And then we both just fell asleep and woke up in the morning with far less brain cells than we had before we went to sleep. And that was kind of that. The time I had seized in his apartment, and I got a concussion, and I had forgotten how to count. And that was kind of the thing with me. Like, whenever I start getting seizures, it's called an aura. Your vision kind of starts going cloudy, and I just start forgetting. Like I there's been times where I've seized and I've forgotten how to speak. There's been times I've seized and yeah, I can't remember what numbers are. I can't think of like how to count. I can be looking at someone who I have known for years and I can't remember how I know them or what their name is. And it's honestly kind of hot. Like, are you horny or no? No, it's actually kind of horrifying. Ever since I started cleaning my life up, aka getting old, I really don't seize anymore, which is so nice. I'll have like little tiny ones here and there if I like overexert myself, but honey, that's just the name of the game, okay? And what's life without a little seizure? If you don't have them, you might be boring. Also, fun fact, my mom has MS, multiple sclerosis. I think I said that right. And most of my buddies that also have epilepsy, their moms have MS or something like that. So there's a connection there. Honey, who's gonna look into it? Probably no one, which is kind of cool. I've never had a seizure during sex, so don't ask me that again, you freak. I'm not gonna fake an orgasm, but I will fake a seizure. How about that? I'm getting ready to go to a stand-up show right now, and let me just tell you that last night I had a show, and I bombed in front of one of my most haunted exes, and I was praying for a seizure. I'm like, of all the times to seize and just become unconscious, why God, why can it not be now? So my epilepsy used to be so bad that I actually got reported to the DMV, and I haven't been legally allowed to drive since I was, well, I did get a DUI when I was 20, but that's a story for another day. Okay, maybe tomorrow. Then right after that, like just a few months after that, I was diagnosed with epilepsy, so I haven't been able to legally drive, honey, in a long ass time. But I'm very happy to say I've officially gone a year without like any grand malls. So baby girl, I'm getting that license back, come hell or high water, and it will be hell because the amount of paperwork I'm about to have to go through. I'm sorry, my energy is so bad right now. I remember I was in really, really bad denial when I was first having these health problems because I was like a shithead 21-year-old or 20-year-old, whatever. And I just, I just wanted to have fun and get blackout like everybody else. I'm creative. And I remember one time my doctor was like, hey, you're epileptic. And I was like, hey, this is just all in my head, I'm pretty sure. And he was like, well, that's actually exactly where it is. And I was like, okay, well, I've experienced so many different types of doctors too. Like the cool doctor, like, you can just call me Paul. And I'm like, no, you're about to poke and prod me. I don't want some strange Paul fellow fondling me. I want Dr. blah, 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 blah. And also, I want a woman doctor because I'm tired of these men. I had this freak neurologist, and he would low-key, high-key touch me inappropriately. Okay, why did I have to sing that? Because I got uncuffed, but anyway. And I remember I switched neurologists because I just couldn't take it anymore. And he was so disgusting. Like when you have epilepsy, they do these things called stress tests because every time you have a seizure, it damages your nerves essentially. And so they do this thing called a stress test to check if you have nerve damage. And it's just how you're supposed to do it is just tapping parts of your body, and he would like give me like massages and get really close to my crotch, and I'm like, and then I would always want like my mom or my brother in there, and he would always get so angry, and I'm like, okay, you're trying to creep in peace, I'm trying to drink in peace. And I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to him. I should have reported him, but you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
Argentina felt like